Hi guys, today we are going to be talking about the fundamentals of farming in Path of Exile 0.2 Dawn of the Hunt, including how to set up your keys, how to set up your towers, what you should do to explore your atlas, what sort of waystones you should use, how you should use your tablets and other things you should consider about your gearing, and how to really just maximize what you're going to be getting out of all your maps, how you can be spending time in tier 15s, making a solid amount of currency while doing what you're supposed to be doing in an action RPG, blowing up monsters. Let's get into it. Let's start talking about towers. They have a radius on them that affects it, so if you hover over one that you've cleared, you'll see this circle. Then you can see all of the maps within that circle. When you clear a tower, you can put precursor tablets in it. They look something like this. And you can put up to 3 in each tower. Now, how do you get 3 in a tower? You have to clear it with a 6 mod map. What's a 6 mod map? Jump in here, have a quick look. I'm sure I've got some around in this here tab. Not, we can quickly make one. That's a 4 mod map, right? It's got 4 modifiers on it, 4 lines. Sometimes a mod can have multiple lines, so do check that there are 6 unique groups here. You can slam that with a couple of exalts. I'm sure I've got at least 2, right? There you go. And that's a 6 mod map. So if you put that in a tower, it will unlock 3 slots to put in precursors. You want to do that, even if... Now, it gives you no revives, but even if you fail the map, all it does is clear all of the content that was in the tower, run it again with another 6 mod map. I would say the most important thing is clearing it with a 6 mod map, not necessarily... Even if you drop down a couple of waystone tiers, but just make sure you're getting it cleared so that you get all three slots unlocked. Then... what you can do is you can put in these tablets. Now, what sort of tablets do you want to use? They can roll all sorts of modifiers. They can only roll up to 2 lines, so always transmute and aug them. And then what you do is, up into the tower, you want to be looking for things like pack size. Pack size is pretty good. It's going to increase XP and quantity because there's more monsters to kill, which means there's more drops. And the other one, the real good one, is quantity. This only rolls from a 3 to a 7 now, but if you can get lots of quantity, that's going to work quite well. You can also get rarity on these. You should consider as well probably putting different types of tablets in. You should maybe put Expedition, Irradiated, and Bosses, or whatever your preferred content is. You could swap Bosses out for Breach, you could swap Expedition out for Delirium, although one thing to consider if you're running Delirium on your maps is that you don't want to put in the emotions when you're instilling your map, which we'll talk about a bit more detail in the map section. Basically, that overrides the Mirror of Delirium, and then you can't do it. The Irradiated, I would say, is the most important. It's going to give you +1 map levels, which greatly increases the value of your drops, allowing you to drop higher item level here. AC1 items roll better modifiers, and therefore are more valuable to crafters. So you want to be looking for Irradiated. I like to put Bosses in as well, just because it makes them normally get a really good modifier for the bosses, like them giving a lot of extra experience, along with pack size, quantity. But make sure you're running 3 tablets. Make sure you're looking for pack size, quantity, rarity. One of those 3 is normally a good sign for any sort of generic farm. So you've cleared the tower, and you've set up an area with lots of juice, and you've got all the quantity, and you've got all the pack size you want. Now you want to make decent maps to actually put in those towers. Now, how are we going to do that? The way I find is best to make the safest map are to use these Omens of Sinistral Alchemy. They're not expensive. They only cost a couple of exalts, but the reason they are good is this. We activate it. We take our alch, put it on the waystone. Quantity, rarity, rare chests, and 40% chance of poison. We've got all prefix modifiers. 3 prefix modifiers, 1 suffix. So it minimizes the chance that you will get a map you can't run, minus resistances, no life and mana regen, something like that, 60% less life and mana regen. Something like that. Minimizes the chances of that while allowing you to use your alchs to actually get something out of this. Now, cost 2 exalts for one of those Sinistral Alchemies, I promise you it's worth it. As long as you're doing the juicing properly, as long as you've got your tablets set up, as long as you've got some Atlas skill points set up properly as well, and we will go into that too. Next up, what you want to do, and the ones I find really good for early game, are Distilled Guilt. They're cheap. These are currently 5 for an X. It'll give you 24% increased pack size. Just said about pack size being important on the tablets. Pack size here, all of this multiplies together. We get huge pack size and lots of drops. Now we've got what looks like a very tasty map. Now at this point, I say that map's ready to run. However, However, there is a debate about whether you vial it now. Now, if you vial it, you're putting your investment at risk. It could brick the map and it could turn into something that you can't run. It could put 2 more modifiers on it that you just don't like. It could turn all the prefix. It could turn everything into prefixes. It could turn everything into suffixes. It could give it +1 level. It could give it -1 level. This is a risk you can take if you want. If it gives it +1 level, that's really good. Then you're all of a sudden you're running level 81 maps. You're going to get a lot more experience and you're going to get a lot more valuable drops, because even normal monsters will be dropping level 81 items. So we'll hit it with the Val and see what happens anyway. See if this is a risk you should take. 8. So what this did was added 2 more suffixes, and this is why that's actually a good example. So it's now put elemental weakness on it, which makes this a scary key to run rather than a safe key to run. So Val at your own risk. If it gets that +1 level, it's great, but it can brick what can be investment into your key. So I would say, if you like gambling, use the Vals. If you don't. Let's go into how to set up your Atlas to maximize all of the things that we've just set up here. So looking at the Atlas passives then. We look at the main tree first. One thing I do like to get is Rising Danger for the 15% increased rare monsters. Rare monsters have guaranteed drops. I also like to go around to Twin Threats, but that's not a bit later. Although I do take this early, before I've got Precursor tablets online. At the start I take that, but then I respec it. We come around this way, we grab increased quantity of Waystones so that we have more Waystones to roll and more opportunities to roll normal Waystones. For that reason I don't go to Fortunate Path. I really don't like this. I want normal Waystones, not magic or rare. It would be nice to grab the rarity as well, but that's eventually a later thing. It would also be nice to grab that quantity. That's now out of reach unless we go through Fortunate Path, which we don't want. Grabbing Unstable Energies is pretty amazing. 25% more effective prefixes when you're doing alchemy orbs to roll prefixes only, and then you're getting 25% effect on those half the time. That's very, very good. We also get increased pack size, and this one here, increased effective explicit modifiers on your Waystone for each explicit modifier. We normally have 4 explicit modifiers, therefore we have 8% increased effect of all of our modifiers. Up there we grab some quantity, go through to local knowledge. Arguably you could go around this way as well, but I kind of like local knowledge. It just feels, all those 40% sound good. Although I think it's some places you shouldn't run it. Like you wouldn't necessarily want maybe gold. You wouldn't want to run it in mountains maybe. You wouldn't want more gold drops if it took the place of other drops. Precursor implements to get more precursor tablets so we can roll for more quant pack size, that sort of thing. Increased effect of precursor tablets is really good. There's 4 of those here. We will eventually want all of those. This is just 20 points in though. Remnants of Power for a 20% chance to double the effect of precursor tablets. That rolls each tablet individually. So you're running 6 tablets, you're generally going to get 1 or 2, 1.2 that are affected per map. If you're running 3, then it's like a 0.6 chance, right? That's going to probabilities. So it could miss, it could hit multiple of them, it could hit all of them, could hit none. But it doubles the effect, so your 7% quant becomes 14% quant. As well as actually, you've got the increased effect, so it doubles more. You want to be grabbing Enigmatic Intensification as well. This is going to give you... It's not quite as good as Grueling Journey, but it's going to give you between 3, 6, sometimes 9% increased explicit modifiers. Explicit modifiers, again, let's think about those prefixes. So you're getting more packs, more quantity, more rarity. It can hit the suffixes as well, and then all of a sudden that you're getting really high life monsters. So it's high risk, high reward. That's why you want to be offsetting it, and only taking the 1 negative modifier using the Sinistral Alchemy if you can. Looking at the other parts of the tree, early days, I like to grab 4 rituals. It just is a consistent extra packs, consistent extra ritual tablets, and consistent extra tribute. Seems fine. Over on the breach side of things, I've opted for interdimensional assault, not having an issue with killing the monsters on this particular build. So the extra monster density is nice. Crumbling walls, you could argue, would be a good first pick as well, but this recently been nerfed, but I think they're the first 2 you should go for. Up on expedition, I'm taking the run up for the increased logbooks. Logbooks always sell well, and they always sell well in bulk on TFT, so I think that's a good one to go for, and then focusing on runic monsters. And on your bosses, quantity and then quantity. That's it. Once you've got a few more skill points, you've finished off getting things like the tablet effects, the enigmatic intensification. think at that point you could probably think to specialize. Personally, I think essences might be quite good, so I'm going to try essences, but it's a toss-up between essences or strong boxes as to where I would put my additional points. And that's really what you should be looking to do with the Atlas tree, maximizing the effects of all those modifiers and then going into super juiced maps. That generally will get you pretty decent currency out the other end. Speaking of, I suppose we should showcase what this farm actually looks like, right? So you can see I'm not talking complete bullshit. So let's jump into a map with it. Given the absolute dire straits of this map that we made with the elemental weakness and shocked ground, turning our glass cannon into an extra special glass cannon, we're going to take it somewhere without a map boss. But it's got breach, it's got expedition, it's got +1 monster level, and yeah, nothing's got any extra life or anything like that. But let's have a quick look and see what happened with our what got. Oh god, we're right in that. We can't have a quick look. We're right in the thick of it. No quick looks allowed. Just wanted to see if we got more quantity and rarity, that's all. Right, so we've got, yeah, more magic monsters, more rare chests, 110% rarity, 59% quantity. So that's what I mean, so the juice can really, really go your way, and that's what you want. Obviously you want the juice to go your way. So it didn't give us, well, it would have given us, negative would we have got? 40%. Poison, they would have got like 60% poison or something.
Nice spear.
Saying that, this is a bit scary.
Craft that shit.
Don't end up with shock ground, it's really scary.
Nice spear. Craft that shit.
You can hear the tinkles of the experience. Oh god, that was close. So yeah, the shock ground is turning us into a bit of a glass cannon. This is why taking that Battle Orb, proper risk. Maybe don't do it. I did it for the purpose of the video. It was a really nice looking map, and I was anyway. Then, as you can see, we're starting to get quite a bit more in the breach splinters. We're not getting 6 breach splinters. I didn't pick up any of the hands either because I was fighting for my life, trying to clear as much as we could. But you should find we've got quite a bit. A little bit of rarity on character as well. I didn't make a special mention of that because I think that's something everyone knows, that you need to get a little bit of rarity on character. I'm only running 25% at the moment. Hard to sacrifice power at this stage in the league for that quality, but if you can do it, it's worth it. So, wasted. Right. Now we have the next bit of content to do. We haven't got our expedition. Oh, we've got some enemies to kill first. Oh, Kosis is here. Laser. 8 simulacrum splinters. You shouldn't have. So plenty of chests, it looks like. Probably want to focus on a big chest there as well. Good. Probably want to try and minimise the monsters that are going to spawn, because the runic guys are going to one-shot us. So we want to try and minimise those. They would one-shot us with the 1 due to our elemental resistance being low, and 2 because we're going to be on shock ground, so we're like got 50% more damage coming in basically. But we spent 2 exalts, right? We spent, well, a little bit more than that. We didn't spend much on our juice, so if we press Z, we can easily see what's around. We're not going to buff them up at all because the map's already buffed enough. And one big chest over here, isn't there? Yeah. That. Runic monster on it, but that's okay. Thing is, we keep moving. But the rower would be nice. So I'm not a rower fan. That should be it. Cleared. So now we can go loot all our chests. Hopefully get a logbook or similar. Exotic coinage. Artificer's orbs. Artifacts are selling very well, of course, because of the new crafting methods that have been added, so well worth collecting. Logbook. Chaos orb. All of the loot. All stocking up. I've already picked up 5 raw exalts, a chaos. 11 simulacrum splinters. 21 breach splinters. That's going to be all on breach splinters, though.
Nice spear.
Lots of nice spears. Might even have to take this stuff back. We might have to do 2 loots. These are all high crafting bases, by the way. Well, they're not 81s. They're top end items, the highest level needed to use. So the best bases to be crafting on.
Nice spear. Nice spear.
So we're going to have to go back. One moment, I'll be back in the... Oh, loot deposited. Don't want to know spoilers. You might want to see the stash tab names, right?
Nice spear.
Oh, chaos plants. These are not good. Don't want to get touched by those.
Craft that shit.
Oh, hello. Oh my god, I'm full again already. Don't need that rare. Oh god. Getting hit on this character is very scary.
Craft that shit. Craft that shit.
Don't have room for cavalry boots.
Craft that shit.
Boots everywhere. Alright, well, one moment. Complete. Yeah, this is how I use my maps. I've always used my maps. Did it in Path of Exile. Used them in 0.1 as well. It was good. Like a nice generic juice. It still works. It's still safe. It's still very good. So if you don't have the Val, we did that for show and tell purposes. If it wasn't for the Val, this would be we would be under no threat whatsoever. There's still more than 200 monsters left on this map, and we've almost uncovered the whole thing. Just in the middle. After 200 monsters, that's when it shows you where everything is. Oh, I was hoping to find a white one of these, but this is the reason you bring crafting currency with you. The strong boxes have been quite good, and if you get particularly juicy strong boxes... Oh no, don't blow me up. Such as the cartographer ones and stuff, it can be worth using. Or so on researchers gives you. But yeah, I mean, look, it's worth boosting them up. Like, well worth it. See white ones, and you've got juice like this. Use an Alcorb. Bring your Alcorbs with you. Use one on those chests, whatever chest it is. I think that was an armorer's one. That just. Oh, yes.
Craft that shit.
Yeah, I'll craft it soon. Just finish this map now. There's not that much left, surely. And I shall loot it.
Craft that shit. Craft that shit.
Many crafting bases. I need a new chest. I need a new spear. That's why all the crafting bases are
Nice
highlighted.
spear.
Right, make me own. There you go, map complete. Obviously, we've still got some looting to do. But yes, it's pretty juicy, as you can see. And there's loads of monsters. I think we got about 15% of the level. And yeah, it's a very effective method of juicing.
Nice.
Very cheap.
Yeah.
Do your rituals. If you see omens of sinistral alchemy, the ones that give prefix only, grab those, stockpile them for yourselves. Come up. They're really, really common. They're never going to get super, super expensive. And yeah, have a good time. I was about to cop it then. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope this helps you get the most out of your keys, your waystones, World of Warcraft head, get the most out of your precursor tablets, and have the most fun farming the most loot in the endgame. Catch you in the next video, guys. Have a good one.